Hey everyone. I wanted to discuss something with everyone. Um, More, I guess, a review kind of review with regards to this product that I'm sure everyone has heard about. It's called Ozempic. For anyone who, I guess, really knows me, knows that I have struggled with weight since I was mm, early teens, I would say. This goes back to, wow, I don't know, grade five, grade six. I mean, I was called a chubby kid when I was young, but I mean, looking back, I don't think I was. But kids can be pretty cruel. So in elementary school, I was very self-conscious. High school, same thing. Uh, as I went into my adult years, um, nothing really changed. The only thing really changed is, I guess, the teasing or the making fun of. As adults, I mean, it's not the same as kids. Kids can be very cruel, but also kids, aren't really mentally developed. So what do they know? But either way, words do hurt, and making fun of someone with something that they feel insecure already, and you're kind of making fun of them about it, kind of doesn't help. But so when I was young, I was teased. When I got into high school, different different kind of teasing, but but my body dysmorphia, um, also, which is kind of a thing, was also still there, but not as intense as elementary school. Then, as I got into my early 20s, I actually gained a lot of weight for some reason. In my early 20s, I think when I was about like 21, 22, the heaviest I was maybe like 240. Um, and then something kind of snapped or like clicked in. Started going to gym, lost a lot of weight, um, and then I think the lowest I went down was 160, and that was probably in my like late 20s. Um, I guess I guess you would call it anorexia. Um, I did I didn't vomit, but I did not eat, and I've gone through a lot of different kind of diets. There was even one time where I went through a phase where I did a watermelon diet, along with a this really good green tea that it would it would flush like your whole system, and those were the only things that I was putting into my body, which obviously was not a very healthy way of dealing with weight. But yeah, that was a thing. Um, and then from there, kind of, as I got older, I still struggled with the weight and the weight issues and being unhappy. Um, Obviously, the gay community, they're not the most friendliest with regards to self-conscious body. They're pretty not nice, if you want to say that. But anyways, so in my 30s, went through a lot of different types of diets, did a lot of like working out, but did a lot of like cardio working out. So my whole thing was to avoid being bulky at any cost. So obviously I didn't want to be fat, but also I didn't want to be muscular. So I stuck to cardio. And when I say cardio, I it was like, 2 hours, 3 hours of just going from one cardio machine to another cardio machine, which I mean at the time I loved it. Now I would find that very boring. Um, but and then but I would say in my 30s, um, I kind of got into a comfortable kind of space where like I wasn't fat, I wasn't skinny, but for me, I was happy, I guess. And then relationships happen, and when you get into relationships, you kind of let yourself go a little bit. So that kind of happened in my um, late 30s. And then I hit my 40s, COVID happened. And I think a lot of us went through that whole weight gain during COVID. COVID ended eventually. And then that's when COVID occurred. I think I went from, I don't know, maybe 190, 200 to 230. So far the highest I've been is 240, and the lowest I've been was 160. So very, very, different numbers. Um, then I would say maybe a year and a half ago, I did this thing where intermittent fasting, and if you never tried it, I would recommend you try it. It's a somewhat healthy way of kind of losing weight quickly. So what I would do is I would not eat for the whole day, and then I would only eat during dinner time, which at that time was maybe like 6 or 7, maybe 8, and I would eat something small. So I did that for a few months, and I went from 230 down to like, I don't know, maybe like 180, like just like that. But the thing about intermittent fasting is once your body gets used to now that routine, the weight wasn't going off me anymore. And so I was unhappy with that. Um, for some reason, I gained weight again. Um, and then I went from, I would say, the 180 to then 210. Um, and then I started to have those negative feelings towards myself with regards to I'm unhappy with my body. I just was unhappy, and even though others say, "Oh, I like you with more meat," I think I appreciate um, every compliment that is given, but at the end of the day, if I'm unhappy with what I'm seeing in the mirror, that's what's really affecting me is I'm unhappy. Even when I was like 230, 240, people said, "Oh, sir, you're still a good-looking guy," but I did not see that. So, anyways, January 2025, so the beginning of this year, uh, maybe end of end of last year, December, beginning of this year, January, I started Ozempic. I wanted to try it out. I'm someone who I also follow all of the stories about like best way to like lose weight quickly. So those green teas, if you never tried it, it does work. Intermittent fasting, I've done these diet pills. for me, they've all kind of worked, but they just don't work for a long period of time. Eventually, body just gets used to it, and then the results stop. So this year, January 2025, I wanted to try Ozempic, and um, so there's a few ways of getting Ozempic. Obviously, you can go through your doctor. Doctors are can be a bit strict with giving prescriptions only because it is a serious drug. So I went through an online process, got a prescription through there, and then started my Ozempic journey. So I started from 0.25 dosage once a week for 2 months. And then 2 months from that, I did a 0.50 dosage for 2 months. And then from there, I did a 1.0 dosage weekly for 3 months. And and then now I went back to 0.50. Only I felt the 1.0 was a bit um, too much. Also, I wanted to stretch out the dosages because it is expensive since I don't have coverage. It's coming out of my own pocket, so it is pretty expensive. Um, so the pros and cons. Pros are it does really work. So if you're someone who you struggle with weight gain and you want to lose, and you want to lose it, I mean, pretty quickly, it's gonna work for you. Um, I started seeing results. I would probably say within a month. Um, Con is it takes it takes away your love for food. Honestly, it's like things don't taste the same anymore for me. I'm not excited about food. Not that I was ever really excited about food before, but um, it does change you. It takes away your appetites. It takes away your desire for food. The only reason why I eat food now is because I know my body still needs food, but I can eat a sandwich for for just the whole day, and my body's happy with that. And I also have to be very careful with the amount of food I put in my body because if I eat too much, my body gets sick. And eating too much can be a sandwich and anything else. You know what I mean? Side effects, everyone reacts differently. The side effects are nausea, um, upset stomach, diarrhea, headaches. There's a whole list. You can find that online. Apparently, not everyone reacts the same way. I luckily did not have any side effects in that sense. So I never really dealt with the nausea, headaches. I thought I was starting to feel something when I was on the dosage of the 1.0. So that's why I went back down to 0.5. Also because when I started my journey with Ozempic, I was at 210. Now I am 170. So I figured 170 is a comfortable kind of weight. Um, so now I'm not ready to stop it, but I don't need a high dosage because I am reaching a more comfortable number. I don't have a goal in mind, but I guess when I'm just happy, then I'll figure out what the next steps are. Um, what I do recommend is don't don't fully follow what I'm doing, where like I don't really eat. Include workout. I think if you include working out, you will actually see even results even better, and also you'll see healthier results. Because for me, it's just about losing the weight. I want my number to go down. My obsession is the number part, which is not really the right way to really think about it. But if you include working out, weights, you will tone the body, and not just losing weight, you'll tone as well. Me, yeah, I mean, I go for walks. I work out here and there, but if I were to give advice for someone who does do Ozempic, definitely incorporate actually working out, and don't just completely get rid of um, not just the gym part, but just like working out in general, because you actually end up seeing even better results if you include that. Yes, I know I should take my own advice, but I'm just not vibing with gym life anymore, or really working out. I've never been into really weights. Um, yeah. So if Ozempic is something that um, you kind of were curious about or thinking about trying, I would recommend trying it out. If you are someone who you do struggle with weight, or you struggle with losing weight, and you struggle with maybe eating too much, it does work. Um, you just got to be careful, because yes, it works, um, but it does really change your body, change your metabolism, change your way of thinking. It changes a lot in you. So be prepared for those changes, and then obviously be prepared for possible side effects. But that's why they put you in on this program, where like you start off low, and then you can build from there. Because if your body starts to react with those negative side effects, then you can still continue. You can possibly still continue on doing it. You'll just have to kind of change the dosage, because it'll work. It's either you want something really quickly, or something that just gradually and it continues. With a low dosage, you will continue to see results, just a bit slower, rather than doing a higher dosage. That's what I learned. So that's why I've changed my dosage back to the 0.50, because the 1.0 was unnecessary, and I felt like it was starting to kind of give me those side effects, which I don't want. A headache, I don't want nausea, I don't want diarrhea, I don't want stomach pains. Like, you know, I want to be skinny, but I also don't want to be in pain and being tortured to get that result, right? So Ozempic, it works. It's great. Do I want to be on it for a long period of time? Hopefully not. But until I am happy, I will continue on taking it. Um, so if you're someone who was curious about it, coming from someone who has tried it recently and is on it, I give it a thumbs up. It really does work, but just be prepared. It does change you, um, but it does work. So that's what kind of matters, is the fact that people take it, yes, because they need it for their diabetes, but because now it's kind of come into the weight loss kind of community. A lot of people are taking it because of the weight loss, and this is my video to confirm it works. Trust me, it works, and it works fast. So, thumbs up to Ozempic. Thank you. That's it. If you have any questions about it, or if you want to know more how my experience with it, by all means, reach out to me. I will happily help with any inquiries that you may have. Okay, Buffy, you say bye? Okay, bye.